Bosnia has been expanding. Not much in Europe, but also in Egypt. And also I missed this part of Bosnia that's also been expanding thanks to the Banate of Visegrad. Which, that belongs to Pannonia, and Pannonia probably wants, that part. Even though we once considered, part of, like Nitra, part of Pannonia, but now it's part of Great Moravia because we never bothered expanding up there, but, if they want to create their own Czechoslovakia, go for it. If they hold the Bohemia as well. If there is a Bohemia. But, let's not be concerned about this. Orthodox Bulgarian. As I said before, you should be Krstjani. Because don't you know that's the state religion of the Empire of Bosnia? And that will soon come to Egypt as well, bringing Christianity here. Although it's a small strip of land. But we do hold the Banate of Alexandria. And in the future, we'll go for the whole of Egypt. Yes, there will be a Krstjani Kingdom of Egypt, which will use that as a springing point to eventually expand it to Jerusalem and into Syria. I can envision them. Krstjani Kingdoms of Egypt, Jerusalem, and Syria. Highly doubt it'll come to the Bosnian Empire because this border's distant. And the only time if we were have a connection if we ever controlled Greece, but we have no ambitions of going to Greece. At least not yet. But Egypt is a rich land. Look at its development compared to Bosnia. Like in parts of the empire. Most of Egypt is developed more than Bosnia itself. And one must think, and that includes, the areas of Mesopotamia, this is where the real power lies for the Arabian Empire. Although they don't have the money now, but they still have their massive number of levies, which their strength is similar to ours. And since we have been expanding greatly, and we are trying to win the hearts and minds of the Egyptians, to eventually maybe convert to Christianity? Yes, we mean that. Because I want to point out here, despite the fact we're in Islamic territory now, don't you know that we're pluralists and not righteous, like the Catholics and Orthodox? Adherents of other faiths will have opinion penalties of 50%. The county conversions of those areas will be slow, as they've always been. Counties of other faiths are less likely to join factions. Reduced danger from heresies when at low fervor. And winning a holy war will vassalize infidel rulers in the target area instead of seizing their land, as it says down here. It is utter folly to say that there is only one right interpretation of divine will, and that all the other views are wrong. Each of us has our own way of worshipping God. It just pretty much tells you that Christianity, out of all the Christian faiths, it seems we're the most tolerant. One would think. But there are others who also considered, pluralists, like Celtic Christianity, the Waldensians, Coptics, which they no longer exist, unfortunately. Versos, Nestorians. And it's what we have in common with some of the other ones, but because you see, as it says in the description, it was originally a Bosnian exclusive, but now it's basically anybody that wants to convert to this part of Christianity, the more tolerant kind, since we retain many of the archaic elements of Christianity. But if you're looking for the modern equivalent, Like, say, if it was Protestant, then that would be the Lombardi, which they don't like graven images, they're pacifists, and they are literalists. And also they're righteous. Whereas when you look at Ash'arism, the most common Sunni faith, they have fatwa, struggle and submission, and jizya. And they have righteous and they have lay clergy. So that's what makes us so different than them. Because they're righteous. Whereas we are pluralists, which we tolerate them more. So yes, we tolerate Muslims to a degree, but I believe that, look, you can't just, tell them go, revoke and get them out of here. That's tyranny. Although he'll accept it, but there's no need for that. As I said, we're just going to win the hearts and minds of every Egyptian here. Yes, there's all Egyptians. No Coptics. They're gone. At least as far to my knowledge. Yeah, I don't think there's Coptic culture anymore. They're all Egyptian Arabs. And there's even one tiny bit of Assyrian. But that culture might be gone too in the future, if they cared. And if we ever hold Jerusalem ourselves, that'll be up to the piety for all of us. But this is part of the goal that we have in mind. In addition of uniting the South Slavs, we should also mend the Great Schism. Every Christian faith with ecumenism will be lost and loses special tolerance. Does that mean ours too? So it would have to be me under complete control, but also the owners of the area too. So that means that man, this Egyptian here, we're gonna make him Krstjani. As we said before, we have to win the hearts and minds of them. And our peace deal with the Arabian Empire will expire in 3 years' time. And I will remain chivalry until then. Guess we'll go for this path. I am 61 years old and I'm feeling fine. See you. Hang on a moment. Shall see to it. There we go. It's just I was wondering why the hell's the pause button not working, but it is working now. We'll just have to make them like us enough to convert. But here's one thing. Between Ash'ari and Krstjani fervor, there's a big difference. Yours is down, but declining to convert is a crime. Is that so? What makes you think that it is a crime to not convert? Who says that? Is that what we do with evil faiths? Now, where in the laws that says that? It doesn't say that anywhere, but they do say if they do not convert, then it is a crime, which, that would be revoking. So, maybe we shouldn't be too tolerant with them. So don't rush the day. Alright, give it time. And in 3 years, we shall go on a kingdom holy war for the entirety of Egypt. The whole of Egypt. In a few years' time, Slatli Nilani, the golden lilies, will be flying over Egyptian skies. So in that case, we're here in Alexandria. Let's increase the size of the pikemen, knowing that there's a lot of cavalry out there. And siege weapons as well. That reminds me of something else here. Because another reason of why the Bosnian warrior is so effective is because of our knight effectiveness. I believe we can improve further upon it. This duchy building. Military academies. 4 years. We'll have more knights, and legal maintenance will be reduced, and knight effectiveness will increase. Would be on par with the Indian, with those Indian warriors, which they were considered best in the world. If they got a military academy, then nothing can stop them. Of course, I'm referencing the previous series with Suna Yadava, where, like, I believe it's from episodes 8 to 10, during the life of Dahara Sena, who led his knights to battle, which they were probably the very, very best. But I think these Bosnian warriors here are the best of this generation. And we can recruit a few more. A Dutchman, what are you doing here? We got some good ones and some not so good ones. Plains and drylands. There's floodplains, desert, drylands. What about floodplains? Gandhara Guards Cavalry. No difference in floodplains. We are simply just prepared for future conflicts. Will you convert now? Very well. Krstjani Egyptians are introduced. And now we have guilds, which I can hold another county to my domain. Scottish will be the next one, but we have 10 years. So you know what? Get it over with. Yeah, their strength is similar to ours if you want to exclude allies. Bahrainis, Kristjani populists. And Visegrad has expanded again. While studying the tactics of ancient generals, I was amused to learn of Julius Caesar's exploits during his conquest of Gaul. During the siege of Alesia, Caesar determined that the direct assault on a well-fortified city would be too costly. Instead, he ordered his army to build his own fortress, which surrounded the entire city, trapping the enemy garrison inside the star while simultaneously preventing reinforcements from relieving the defenders. Knowing there's a lot of them out there, but I'll just go for this unyielding defender. Make the enemy come to you. I like it. Knowing that I'll still be leading my troops one day. But I woke up earlier than usual. Feeling a bit restless, I ventured out of my residence and took a walk outside with some trusted guards. Thought we heard a whistling sound overhead, but upon further investigation we found that it was a young shepherd with his flock playing a pleasant song in his wooden booth. He greeted me reverently and wished me the best. Please, play some more music, it's good. Pope Gregorius. Mother. Yep, that's our vassal Pope. Can do nothing about that. And if he wants to start another crusade for himself, well, he may do so. I mean, look at you. Ruined reputation. I mean, of course, that's shunned in Catholicism as much as we shun that too. Oh, let me break this down. And that too. All these Emirates inside here that you see, they will all be Krstjani one day. We can't get rid of them. We can't get rid of them because they haven't done anything criminal. Refusing conversions may be a crime, but we can't guarantee that all the time. Controlled territory defending. In 2 years, we'll have enduring hardships, and another 2 years prepared conscription. You see the color differences, they look similar, right? But ours is a bit dark greener compared to theirs. Makes you think of something. Once again, they keep increasing their levy size. Whereas for us, you know, we have the monetary advantage to them. Get those up too. They're the most expensive, but they'll soon be the most effective. Starting to slowly come around now. So I have to control all of this personally. By personally, you mean Bosnian Empire. Alright, you recovered from consumption. Would that be grand to see in the future that the Krstjani Church that will mend the schism and be the only legitimate branch of Christianity? I mean, look at the name of our faith. Don't you know what that means in our language? Something that an Arab will never understand, but only the Egyptian Arabs do. So I don't know if they're going to be the ones to govern Egypt, or we'll put a Tezalowicz man to them. Deviancy. Yeah, that man's always a bit of a problem. But I cannot guarantee it. Refused blackmail? Well then guess what? You're a deviant. Don't you know that deviancy is shunned? You're a sinner now. The jig is up. Is deviancy a crime in Islam? No, it's shunned too. But I do accept kid slang, which is rather understandable, knowing how they operate. In 9 months, we will have another very bloody war with the Arabian Empire. I saw their name move, so they're expanding again. Mind you, Sharism has expanded as far west as Algeria, and as far east as Orissa, right? Yes, Orissa. Held by Buddhists. Mahayana. Let me see. Although I did want to save that because, you know, we're into piety these days, and if you want to get up to religious icon in order to mend the schism, gotta do that. So in the future, when we sail to 3,000 legacy, either Squire traditions, or learning, or diplomacy, or martial, all that. No need for this because we already have the consecrated bloodline decision done. Yeah, we'll be getting ready for another bloody struggle. Having the pyramids. Monthly renown +5. Development growth. Short reign duration. Held by the Sultan himself. Because it, you know... Oh. I just remembered. Okay, 4 months. That's one, but... Remember, in 4 months' time, when you declare war for that kingdom, we're gonna vassalize everybody there. Oh, that's Africa, you goof. All the emirates and the sheikhs will be vassals of mine. And we have to convert all of them to Krstjani. You can't kick them out unless they refuse conversions. Then they got no reason to be there. I think it would be better off to have a Teselovich hold Egypt rather than an Egyptian there. Only it's not to import Bosnian culture, it's just to up our renown because of the distance from where we live compared to theirs, and it'll be separated from us. 2 months, so August. 59 days, yep, it's counting down now. Okay, here we go. Oh boy. Hope we're ready. 32,000. What is this? 38,000 plus allies. So they're busy right now on one more. This one, they're ready. That's a mercenary. This one is also ready, and them also ready. Again, consider Byzantium to be lucky because we're no longer going after them for a time being. Control Egypt and the Levant, and so therefore you have all of these areas. And then we'll go for Constantinople, Tsarigrad in the future. I may not accomplish this in my lifetime, but Mihailo here, he will be the one. Best Bosnian knight will be ready for action again. And this military academy will be done in a year's time. And there'll be more knights to be joining, and the knight effectiveness will increase. And Danish, you might be the next king of Egypt, because you are the heir to the Banate of Alexandria. Even though that, since that's 3 duchies for me, that's too many titles. That's 3 Banates, and that's too many titles. It's almost like that word Banate to us Bosnians these days, it's just another way of saying governor, in a similar vein of the Persian empires and their satrapies. This is going to be a big one, and it's once in a lifetime. You could do the same for Jerusalem and Syria. But let's establish Egypt here. It's where the power lies. We ain't scared. It'll take a month to gather. On her shallow grave. Okay. Once these troops finish scattering, we'll make our advance to the Nile Delta and work our way down. We'll kick the Sultan out and install my son to be the next king of Egypt. I was about to say Pharaoh, but we don't follow the old traditions. What they failed to realize long ago, that Egypt was once Christian land. We're not Crusaders. We are simply here to govern this region as a satellite state to Bosnia and introduce the Krstjani faith here, which we follow in an archaic form of Christianity, as it says. Who's got the siege weapons? It is you, Mervukan. But don't we have a siege master around here? No. Nah. Okay. 65 years old, feeling fine, ready to fight, although it's starting to get to me, but I'm ready to swing that sword a few times. So here's what we're dealing with here, these forts. 3, 4, 8. Most of these forts are rather weak, except for some of the major populations. So we can take the delta easily. Then we'll work our way down the Nile. The outlying desert areas will be left alone for the time. And we'll do something about Alexandria. Be patient. So we occupy most of the areas, and if you need a reinforced resupply, there's Alexandria for you. While strolling outside one day, I stopped to relieve myself. As I finished, I noticed a bit of gleaming on the ground. Careful not to step in my urine, I moved towards the shiny object and realized that it is a gold coin. What luck! Now, get that Bosnian Krstjani Holy Order. An Estonian on it for additional reinforcements. And on the Grand Master. Okay, fine. Oh, he's in a different one. I assigned him there. Yeah, my mistake. But, anyways. Make it quick. We'll have a head start on this siege. Or taking a walk in the garden outside. Stravoslav slipped a bump into me. No one was hurt, nor did anyone fall down, but it was rather embarrassing affair, and he looks quite sheepish for his accidental disrespect towards me. It's fine. I should have been careful too. There's no time to get angry. We're all in this together. There's a bridge here. Oh, jeez, Mary and Joseph. Here comes these big forces. Their commanders aren't as good as I, but we're ready. If we were to fight them here, we'd probably win. Wait for reinforcements. Don't rush the day. Enemy occupations do not lower control should they ever take any of our territory. So let's attack them now, as the owner is in 1 year in debt. Defeating him here in a decisive battle will do us a lot of good. And we haven't seen any enemy reinforcements. Oh, the others are still too far. Oh, there it is. From Jabal Khof's Persia region. I'm gonna catch them first. We're fighting them all here, and I am taking command. We will have less friendly fatal casualties for the time being. We have a massive advantage over them, as the casualties looks just about even, as he is a holy warrior. Our knights should defeat their parties with ease. Though it appears we're terribly outnumbered here. My son, Danish, has been named. Our knight has fallen. Sparta Amir Ashri 21-18. In the meantime, hey, come over here. It's a lot more than we anticipated. Don't want to slip away. I guess I'll have to fight then. My heart's pounding as Amir Ashraf sends a flurry of swings towards me. A mistake. He's winded. I should strike. Amir Ashraf's attacks are swift and sure. I'm able to deflect them. The final swing from the left was too slow, and I was able to duck underneath. Now it's my chance. Strike! My sword swings true, and I'm able to overpower his defense, wounding him in the process. Excellent. But he's still dangerous, though, because he's younger than me, and I'm not as much of a duelist as I once was. But also, let me tell you, if I fall in this duel, it's just one Bosnian. Alright? It's just one Bosnian. The son will take over. He's a better warrior than I. Gains control, presses attack. Oh, defend myself. I managed to deflect his attack. My turn. Alright. Saw my attack coming, but he was able to move his sword to block it. Damn! My opponent swings his sword and the magnificent flurry advances on me. Now I'm wounded. He's gonna kick my ass. Tis but a scratch. If I were to yield, he will most likely kill me. Reels, I thrust my shoulder on him with everything I have. As I recontrol, I see he hasn't. He tries his best to deflect my attack, but fails. My blade strikes him and he collapses before me, dead. Victory! You know, that was a low chance of finishing him off, but by God, I did. Slava Bog. Battle continues. We have a massive disadvantage. Allies will be joining. They realize bravery and zeal cannot stop them alone. The Savar was the only knight that fell in battle. And he was a member of the order. It was a slaughter, yes. Many, many deaths. Initial losses, survivors, so we definitely devastated the enemy here. Haven't got any kills yourself? After the war, I'm gonna get you married. Very good. Yes, Danish lost his eye, but he ain't going down soon. And he will soon be the king of Egypt once this is all over. Now go take all this area. Friendly reinforcements will be on the way. Although they can recover their losses faster, but we cannot. Unless we return to Alexandria. And that's not really the best place to defend. We could take all these areas with ease. Let them come. We'll be ready for them. Emperor Started has abandoned his mortal coil. He died from his wounds. I didn't think the wounds were that bad. A paragon of valor and gallantry. He'll always be remembered for his cordial and just nature in the face of all odds. Now, Emperor Mihailo ascends to the throne. Being a talented military tactician, many expect him to lead the realm to many victories on the field of battle. Well, he did defeat that warrior of theirs. And now Danish is now the Ban of Alexandria. With the sudden death of father, now I have to take up arms. Barely endorses me. He's a strategist. That's what we know about him. And I already have very high prowess, so stick to strategy focus for more martial. We have organized march and destruction, living off the land. And you go for hit and run and work our way down for all of this. Not many knights will be joining us for battle. Bad. We'll try to please everybody. Really, the Pope? Well, yes, I'll give it to him, and I'll give him Visegrad soon. Now, protect me at all costs. You will have Visegrad. It's a big land, and I'll be swaying you for the time being. I will get married, obviously. Some will skills, somebody with good stewardship. Well, there is, but Herculean, genius, and handsome. Not trying to get all three. We already got the, So I figured it'll be this one. Is intelligent, but just go for her. I'll take that big prestige hit. I'll get more prestige during the course of the war. Glad the Allies have joined it in time. But Alexandria is still part of the Bosnian Empire. And so is Rome, Latium. And this is a kingdom holy war that father started, not I. Which means that I can do another Kingdom Holy War. But unfortunately, the economy is shot. The domain limit. So, hang on here. Get something in a moment. It'll be easy to take the rest from then on there. Even to Cairo. Although, Father did say, if he falls, that's just one Bosnian. Let's hope that remains true, and it's just one Bosnian soldier. There are no sons here, only Bosnians. There. We got it up, but... oh boy, don't you know that the maintenance for all these raised armies is really gonna bring the economy down like no other? But we still have our best knights around. Right. Not done, Krstjani. Fellow knight will command this one. Get the money. It's for the war effort. We may need some mercenaries, knowing that we're outnumbered here. Jeez. Yeah. Defender's advantage. If we were to fight them all here, yes, we will win decisively. But mind you, I'm the reckless one. So having mercenaries might be questionable. We'll probably win, it says. But damn, damn, damn. They're good. How do we counter these bastards? The honorable zone. Oh, are they? And what counters heavy infantry? We do not have the men-at-arms that counters heavy infantry. Like if we wanted that something, then maybe we should bring crossbowmen next time. Knowing that these guys fight hard. Come on, hurry! Bring on the Grandmaster. And be there fast. I don't know how many of us will be left, and I'm sending one group of reinforcements. We did say we need crossbowmen, so... yeah. Just this once. This is just to bring the crossbowmen abroad. The Atharis are outnumbering us, but we're putting a lot of hurt to them. Here comes the Holy Order and the crossbowmen mercenaries. So I guess we'll have to replace archers with crossbowmen after this conflict. Dishonor. What dishonor? Then again, we can get it up pretty easily after this conflict, knowing that we're about to have a great victory, which that progress towards being back up established it'll get us up in no time. It's up to Cairo. Military schools are constructed, so we'll have more knights to come, and the knight effectiveness will increase. In fact, make that so more. Military schools to officer academies. More knights and more increased effectiveness. So I wonder how in Blaga of all places will be the home of the Bosnian Grand Military Academy. Just a few more areas to take and then the war's over. And we will continue these series of holy wars against the Arabian Empire, knowing that we can definitely beat them. Although we did say we want the Teslovich in Egypt, and you are going to be the king of Egypt. It's just all these Islamic Emirates, well, that's your problem. There we go. And these counties that are controlled directly is what the Sultan had. Yeah, much of its strength came from Egypt. And we severely weakened them. And don't be declaring any crusades. Matter of fact, I don't know if he can because he's a sinner. Because we exposed him. Exposed him? No, he exposed himself. Yeah, you know what I mean. Usurp it. That's just a jump up the level of fame, which I'll get right down to hunting and feasting and everything. Alright, which one of yous are most willing to convert? Like, which one is at least a likable? You seem pretty nice. So we'll convert a few before we will give the Egypt title to Danish. There you go. Wait for it to register. Those who do not convert, they will be criminal. Anyone else? What's your reason? Cynical. Intimidating. Not that intimidating. I'm a compassionate man. I'm virtuous and yes, some zealous to the faith. Give it to you in just a moment. That's definitely a no. I already asked him to. Technically, the zealous ones are the ones who are not willing to convert. There, you got some willing converts. But boy, oh boy, these populist uprising that's gonna come from there, it's gonna happen pretty often. But it'll be up to you on it. Egypt is all yours, including these counties from within. And yes, that means you have control of the pyramids. And I'll grant you a couple of vessels too. Or did that already? Yeah. The deed is done. And for now, you are the heir, as I have no children. Yes, King Danish, the unofficial pharaoh of Egypt. The Bosnian pharaoh, Bosnian cry of Egypt. I don't know what is Egypt in the Bosnian language. I'll look it up myself, don't tell me. Alright, so that way I will reference the names of Egypt, Jerusalem, and Syria in that language in future reference. The next treaty will expire on 28th October 1198. Remember that. Next war. It'll be for, well, there's, yes, this will go up that way to Jerusalem and then work your way up to Syria. And yes, since it's the war that my father once started, you can do it once in a lifetime. If you get the piety up there, that is. So now it's time for me to go to pilgrimage before I will deal with the prestige matters. It's still a long way. So yeah, dedicate this life to fight against the Arabian Empire and take those areas. And then eventually Zarigrad before we work on the rest of Serbia, Bulgaria, Croatia, Moldavia. Among my fellow pilgrims, there is a man who preaches compassion and fellowship until he reaches the topic of heathens. One evening around the campfire, he loudly declares them to be abominable monsters in the eyes of God, deviants, child murderers all. Most people avert their eyes when he looks at them. Tonight I was not quick enough. Do you not agree, O Emperor? They spit in the face of God. Unlike my father here, who had some degree of tolerance to Muslims, but you're not going to find it here in Mihailo Sandalic. Yeah, they lost their ally, but their levies are still many. Out here late at night, sometimes I look to the stars and wonder, can God even see me from this far home? What am I doing this all for? God would wish me to, of course, a dedicated pilgrim. He is zealous, and probably the most pious ruler that we'll ever have, as he's going to be paragon of virtue soon. Finally here, body and soul, the great Hijra of Jerusalem. That's the reason why they call their cadet branch of the Abbasids. That's named after this area. It's good to be home. And now the hunt. You likes me well enough. What skills do you have? You could be a good chancellor, but we already have someone superior at that. He's from Latium. But is that one of the Egyptian titles? In that case, demand conversion before we'll let you out of here. But this one can pay. Maybe I should pay attention to the prisoners that we released that have landed titles. Like another count here, who is what runs? Oh, this. Sorry. Land pays well. And since you control the pyramids personally, that means more monthly renown. Well, I mean, I'm the dynasty head, so that won't matter. You have a short range penalty. Reduced. Any money is good money. Oh yeah, I forgot the feast. About to become established again. Even though these days I'm less concerned about prestige and more concerned about the piety of it. So remember, next time we'll just fight for Jerusalem. And then after Jerusalem, we'll go up north and then to Syria and grab Antioch. Established again. The Slovens are good people. Yeah, we can get Paragon of Virtue in no time. So, what are you doing? Peasant revolt, not related to Egypt as a whole. I wonder how your whole family converted. Yep, now there's Bosnian mayors living in Egypt. He didn't revoke them, it's just they came there because he took control of those areas. Ah, Cairo. You sure? Already has a special building slot. Doesn't have 40 development yet. It has 36. If it were to get up there, then building a University of Cairo would do Bosnia some good. At least in that part of the world. Liberty faction. Latvia, Croatia, Niš, Krajina. A desperate plea to please drop the plot. But it's just to lower the Crown Authority, which would, you know, you'd knock it down a bit to where all the good stuff is. But who contributes most to military? Latium. Of course, Rome. Okay, one dropped out. Guess I'll start swaying you. Oh dear. Okay, they've dropped out. By granted independence, you mean give it to them. Kulin Tezelovich, Krstjani Italian. Oh boy, what's going on? Oh, they want the Bosnian of Alexandria. Oh no. You know you can't do that. I wish you could tell the other ones that. Maybe you should hire that holy order. They can help you out. Kissing up to him. Again, it's for Alexandria, not to Egypt. If it was for Egypt, that'd be a big problem. Hey, okay. He's holding on. Egypt's got it. Just pick them off one by one, Danish. So we still have money and time. Plus he's being generous, man. Intervening a liberty war. But he's still short on cash. We don't have the strength like we used to because of not enough levy contributions from some of you. But if we could get another big contribution, I'm looking at you, Pope. Okay, after we swayed him for 2 months, then start swaying the Pope. Don't you dare. A group of Norse settlers hailing from Scandinavia settled on the coast of northern France, making a new home for themselves here. Their leader, King Gudmund, has decreed that his people shall adopt the local customs and traditions, ensuring that they thrive in this new land. What does this mean for the region? So, the Kingdom of West Francia has become Norman. Norman culture now exists. Doesn't mean much to us Bosnians. Okay, Milovan is swayed now. Start swaying the Pope. He can get around easily. Despite what you think of the predecessor, foreign culture, all that. I want to be on the council. You know, if you were Krstjani, I would make you, bishop, but you cannot. And we cannot kick you out of here, so you're going to remain here as long as you like. Let it expire. We had their time. New patriarch. Not as good. Oh, what are you? Bosnian. Okay. Sometimes we get foreigners. Oh, we're about to get this soon. Forest fighter. That ain't gonna help much. Yeah, we don't have the numbers like we used to. But, oh, yeah. Again, they don't have skirmishers anymore, so we're disbanding this regiment. And we'll introduce the crossbowmen. Just to counter those units that's been picking up can as of late. In fact, max it whole. There you go, the Holy Order's been called by Dunners. Guess you had to be virtuous enough in order to do so. My wise vassal band Boji Da is known for his prowess in military matters, especially in areas where I find myself lacking. I don't want Reaver. No. Would prefer another trait. So we have Scottish, which Republican tax vassal contribution increases, even though the only Republic vassal we have is Ragusa, which is still the Republic of Ragusa, or Dubrovačka Republika. In 5 years' time, we'll have land grants, and we have researched everything there is to research of this fascination. And then went to late medieval, and the first thing you're going to go for is primogeniture. Not sure. But I'd prefer somebody I can trust. That can protect me. And Bulgaria's going to be that one unruly vassal. Krstjani's now been introduced in Egypt, and I'm sure it'll slowly convert along the way as it continues. Nah, you can leave. Got nothing for you, man. In our latest correspondence, my vassal king Yurai of Moldavia made a mention in passing about the subtleties of court intrigue as if the subject would interest me. These letters are supposed to be strictly diplomatic in their nature, but of course they sometimes dip into more personal topics. Oh, please tell me more. I guess I'll humor him. Damn it, man. Don't lose Alexandria. You've got your holy order. Do something of it. The latest letter from my vassal, King Yurai, included the whole passage about intrigue. I had no idea he was disinterested in such things. It might have started off as me and just indulging him. Might be too deep to back out now. So, what about plot, then? After long discussions of my vassal king about intrigue, and the research I had to do was fake my expertise, and I realized the subject was not as foreign to me as it once was. Really learned a lot. Fruitful discussions about intrigue. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna have to seduce you, because we still haven't had a child, and we're gonna get it on right now. Right here, right now. What are you, chaste? No. Because I want to have a child right now. That boy's gonna lose Alexandria. And next year we will fight the Arabian Empire again. As they're still bankrupt, not considered superior. We shall see. I am watching a play being performed by a troupe of traveling actors. The quality of their acting is bad, and that's an understatement. Their main problem is that they're overly melodramatic when they act, so none of their characters' storylines seem believable. When the play is finished, the response from the audience is anemic at best. It seems most people don't like their acting either. I'm surprised no one was booing them off the stage. The acting troupe is definitely lucky in that regard. How do they even survive? If I wanted children like that, or 2 years. One of the actors looked quite fetching at least, I'll just say that. Just to up the fertility a little bit. Because we want to have children, at least one right this year. I was recently gifted a sizable amount of herbal tea made from the pruned flowers of the elderberry plant. It's said to help with providing relief against the common physical ailments like the cold and fevers. Like a cup of elderberry tea now. Drinking herbal tea made from elderberry flowers and fruit, as this character likes to, is said to provide relief against many physical ailments. One can only hope that is true. Well, so you may have noticed that crown that I'm wearing, I forgot to address that, so it's been a while now. That headwear is the typical Byzantine imperial crown. So sometimes our rulers would be wearing this crown, or this crown, or this crown. That's how it is, due to the South Slavic cultures using Byzantine-themed clothing. As scholars of the diplomatic arts, I am well aware of the power of eloquent compliment. Showing admiration for the woman's best qualities, short path to her heart. The next time we meet, I shall compliment Seinhild's ambition and lust for life. Good. Claim on Turov. He got an unpressed claim on Turov. Pope's got 2 children because of his lover, which is pretty well documented right now. Pretty much tells you about him. Perhaps we should just start looking for allies again. Of course, you can always look for old Doge. That big old Doge. So I was about to say look at old Reliable, but not Italy. Not Aquitaine. Maybe East Francia, but it would take its time. Rivera's busy. Byzantine Empire is still our off and on enemy, so allying with them is out of the question. Be entertained. Alrighty. Almost there. Do we have precision? No, we do not. Son of a beeswax. Why have what we have? Now we have officer academy since Zahumine. So that's more knights than army gold maintenance reduced. Quite experienced, he says. Again, happy that Bosnia made its way to Egypt, but Krstjani faith has really been introduced much here. Yay! Lay with her, that means you've definitely impregnated her. No question about it. Put one in Giza. No wonder! Now the pluralist, development, your learning skill isn't as good as you are ill right now. I'm sure you'll be better soon. But we're counting down. Hopefully we'll get to know each other a bit better. I don't know what I'm going to do with a hook with him. Other than convert, and yet the Pope is going to be like, I need a new bishop. That ain't going to work. So most definitely in that holy war I will be paragon of virtue. After we get Jerusalem, which I will appoint a Krstjani ruler there, or this man here, the Alama, to be a Krstjani as well, which he doesn't seem to mind much. So, anytime we expand into Islamic territory, we will win the hearts and minds there. We can't kick them out. But if they done something criminal like revolts, well then that's up to him. White peace. And now it's tyranny. Well then, you will soon lose your land. Now we'll introduce more to the Krstjani there. October 28th, remember that. We have the money to finance this war, but... Okay, daughter and heir to the Empire, who is pretty resilient. There you go. All that. Mara. At least for now. Milovan was one of the good guys. Guess it'll be you. Since you're a man of diplomatic principles. He likes me well enough. Not gonna like this. You know what's said on the console? 100%. He still likes me well enough, so that's good. Truce is expired. Hang on. Look, we'll have the advantage of, you know, their armies are in depth and we can defeat them easier. Of course, he's got many allies, as always. And they're all ready. Yeah, they're willing to help. Which will be tough for us, as they are considered superior. But the men-at-arms have much reduced. Yeah, they got all kinds of that there. But it's the best that the land can provide. Because we can't please everybody. And I'm not the grand strategist yet. But we'll have better men-at-arms counter efficiency during the course of the war. Highly doubt this soon. But I'll do what I can. No, that won't work. Should we just... I mean... You got this many forces, and then... You will be reinforced by a Holy Order, which they're ready. It's just we need a few friends here. Low fertility. Do you really care about fertility? You're a republic. Stupid idea. It'll be betrothed, which I could break it off at any time. This is just for them, you know, just using them. Which means, nope. Whew, that's a lot, but it's far off. So are they. I mean, in theory, we could definitely beat him in battle. That man's gonna live up to his 80s. Shall we raise more funds? Just thinking what to do. Be sure to check on everybody. But please remember, this is going to be for this before we will jump up in the next one and just go straight for Syria, for Antioch, and then Zarigrad, which he is also the holder of Thrace. Let's do it. Jafar Emiri, the Emir of Palestine, Jerusalem. There are many out there, but we ain't scared. It seems we've defeated them time and time again, even without allies' help. But we'll do what we can. Let's get Venice. I got a stupid proposition for you. Whenever you're done, take some up to gather because it's from across the sea. And now the Holy Order. Now we're ready to move. Gaza will be the first place to fall, before we work our way towards Jerusalem proper. If there's any enemy forces there, we'll take them on. We don't have as many knights or as many men as we used to as my father did. Death is raced over my realm. A case of the dreaded bubonic plague was discovered. The unfortunate victims, my brother and my friend, Vertigo. He's also gout-ridden. Bubonic plague may kill him, and he's actually one of Bosnia's best knights. Treat him well. We need him for the war. Let's bring this down immediately. You know he's gonna go the other way, right? Here comes Venice. There's 2 baronies to take. But don't wait too long, otherwise we'll be outnumbered here. Otherwise we'll be needing mercenaries. What the hell they're going out to sea for? Go to Gaza? Egypt? Somewhere? To unify with the rest of the force would be a lot of trouble. Of course, just wait. Don't break off the siege. This is not a crusade. They think it is, but we're not the crusading kind. We know how to counter the men-at-arms efficiently. I'm not afraid to duel with one of their parties. Some are recently disembarked, so they'll have a disadvantage on that. Oh dear, holy warrior, unyielding defender, military engineer. And there's about to be more reinforcements. We can kill off most of them, as we already have. Not a daughter. No beauty. Once again, what's the dishonor? What dishonor have I done? Vertical. Died gout-ridden. Finally got to him. Maybe I am not the dishonorable. Maybe I'm not an honorable man as people think I am. It's not because I called for allies and we did most of the contributions and all this fighting ourselves. But don't really care. It's all about piety, not prestige. Lost our best knight. This one's the next objective to take. It's a good thing we got crossbowmen. And after Hebron, then we go for Jaffa. Great, a bubonic plague out in the parts of the court. Well, at least I'm not here. All the good fine men are out on the field. Hope my wife and kids don't get the bubonic plague. Now we're having a bit of a supplies disadvantage, which could be bad for us. Yeah. We'll be going after them soon. The supplies running out, so are we, but they're getting up to the mountains, the cowards. All we want is off of them of the mountain. But they still say chances are even, which isn't good. Slow down, will you? Wait for us to catch up. They still say chances are even. Not good. Need mercenaries. Very hesitant about that sort of thing. Black band. Plenty of crossbowing. She'll do. It's not much, but just head to Jaffa instead. Let them go where they want to go. Need to draw them over here, where it'll be much favorable positions. Once we take Jaffa, split the forces up, scatter them around, and we'll get them. Attrition's killing us. Drylands. Take your pick. They can easily devastate us. Completed taking our main objective, but I'm a bit nervous. Knowing they could easily crush us. They do not have the best commanders of the world, but we're going to be undersupplied, so we'll have to beat them up, and once they retreat, split the forces up and gather as much supplies as we can before we're back in action. That's how you fight a war. And if the casualties get too hairy, go hire another group of mercenaries. They're caught. Divide and conquer. Another major battle won. Now one more. Spot Abraham. Slipped away, the coward. Now there's even a bubonic plague in prisons. Boy, I would hate if I were to come back home and receive the plague myself. Split up, all of you. God damn it. Now. You two here. Picking up all that glory thanks to these great battles that we're winning. It's not the place to be. Oh yeah. Receiving? Yeah. We're receiving supplies. No longer the court physician because he got it too. "5 years' time. Late medieval. We'll be well supplied and we'll be ready to fight against them. Given all these prisoners the plague, there is a fate worse than death after all. Damn it! Split up. Scram. Oh dear. One of my knights got it. Apparently nowhere is safe. There is a plague out there in the world. What if I'm next? We'll employ both strategies. Wait till we're resupplied, rearm, and we shall defeat them one more time. And then we will have ourselves a... Went from Bosnian to Russian. Guess we shall meet them over there. That's Desert Mountains, that's our territory. Yeah, we should be well supplied enough, so let's get back together. Let's just meet up here, and we'll take them on out there. One more decisive victory, then that's that. Let's move out. Pokri. I'm in charge. What the hell? Cindy. You don't typically see that every day. Now I'm a religious icon. So all we need is to capture one more area. This one's got a low fort level, so this will be easy to take. Basically, when somebody gets the plague, they're out of commission. As I said, nobody is safe. Only the strong can survive, but... Damn it! But she'll live. Bubonic plague's only temporary. It's not going to stick with them forever. And if I do return, I may get it one day. Huh. So, Jerusalem is ours. So that means the Emir and the Sheikh will be vassals of mine. I guess we didn't need Venice's help. All we need is just clever tactics. Desires the county. Okay, maybe I can help you out with that, but it's going to take some convincing. We know you cannot be converted. You are much more nicer, however. He might accept. Convert him first, then the Emir will be to, so he has to give the mosque away. Okay. Now, here's your vassal. Anyone else? Here's a little gift for you. And sorry about your wives. Shit, too. Oh, yes, the Mashariki will stay. But if we ever wanted another Banite, we could take either this or this. Then we would have the Krstjani Kingdom of Jerusalem, and in 5 years' time, in March of 1206, then we shall fight them one more time for Syria, for Antioch. We have once again crippled their forces, and I'm sure they're angry as heck right now. And one would think they would have to fight declare a jihad against us. But now everybody's getting the plague. And unfortunately, that's what's going to happen to all of us. But my daughter has recovered. What about my other daughter, Mara? I don't think she's gotten it yet. Hell, I haven't gotten it. It's probably this is a much larger outbreak than the smallpox back in my father's reign. Somebody's not amused. Now we have sappers. And in 2 years' time, I'll be a strategist. Which we will definitely fight better against them next time. Bossy, eh? If you live, I know what to do with you. This, to be exact. Continue the tradition. But don't break that patrol we had. We may need Venice again. Or switch to vote, simply. Here's your plague-ridden prisoner. Your son or whatever child back. I'm surprised you haven't gotten it yet, but apparently that's only applies to around here. There's a plague in Bosnia, but not the rest of the empire. So I'll be active, trying to get away from the plague myself. I'm gonna go hunting, because I want a social distance from you folks. Where am I hunting, to be exact? I mean, it'll tell you where you are hunting at. Krstjani Ostro. Sarasavo. Halic area. Galicia. No time for chit-chat, I'm getting that wolf. I'm trying to get up to Exalted Among Men, you see, because we need more knights. They're dying out, or they're plagued and later recovered. And the last thing that I would want is a plague-ridden feast. No more innovations. Now you have to wait. Man's still going to be around forever. Till he gets his money. And he can't declare a jihad without the money. The outbreak of the plague which has ravaged my court is finally over. Its victims have either recovered or departed from this world. My court physician Stana assure me that all the bodies have been properly disposed of, and that the threat is completely gone. Finally, we are safe. 17 survived, 4 died. So, Nikolina, Tesloch Spoleto, Czech Orthodox, Neke Bishoy, prisoner, Shamazel, Ban Zara, of Egyptian one, Jafar Ban Nate died. Dao Jafar also passed. So, and the rest of them survived, including my daughter. Well, let's celebrate, let's have a feast, let's end this episode on a good note. Welcome, friends. Now the question is, who's in my feast? Because the empire is getting larger and larger, and that means there's probably more guests. Well, what do you know? The Adamites have returned, but they now live in Austria. Anyways. Hey, my mother is still alive. And she's doing fine. She's strong. The Archbishop is here. Oh, very Archbishop of Great Moravia. My brother is the Archbishop of Great Moravia? Well, what do you know? Mayor, King of Moldavia, King of Bulgaria, Ban of Steiermark, my wife, King of Serbia, King of Ruthenia, the Bosnian turned Russian, and of course my brother, the King, Kraj of Egypt. And the ones who didn't come is my sister, and Mayor, and a Ban of Latium, which is understandable because we still have issues between us. Still, Holy Order has been given more land, so more power to them. That was the Emir himself. Well, damn, I could have just converted him instead of releasing him. The wine merchant should be still in town. everything I could, ensuring that Empress Mavanub and Danish would be as far each other as possible. It's not enough now to come to blows in the middle of my feast. One of my guards close to the wall looks in order to intervene. Halt! We'll talk about this later. Man of diplomacy here. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's a good way to end this episode, as we'll end it here on April 1st. So, in the next episode, which no doubt what's next for Bosnia, as we continue to increase our strength, and now that we still have Venice as a reliable ally, and with all the great wealth, I figured that we should have another child, dear. Son, preferably. Because it would be problematic to have a daughter ruling it, but I got a lot of good years ahead of me. And in the next episode, the Bosnian culture will enter into the late medieval era, and we're going to try to get primogeniture as quickly as possible, which will make elective monarchy irrelevant locally. But also, our next holy war will be for Syria, which is just as big as Egypt. I mean, on the inside it is. And Antioch, as we will make another big step to mend the Great Schism, as we hold Rome, Alexandria, Jerusalem, Antioch, and eventually Byzantium will be next. So as we said before, you're next, after we deal with the Arabian Empire one more time. And then we would be fighting them in a massive war. And who knows how much we're going to be dealing with. That we will get to Thrace. And then after we mend this Great Schism, and then we'll finally restart this ambition that was originally planned since the beginning of the series, and that is to unite the South Slavs. And maybe, who knows, we'll have a university. In fact, that may be a great idea. Can't construct any one of them. Destroy the existing building. Actually, that's Duchy building. Does not already have special buildings on, so... But the development is not there. Because it has not reached its fullest potential of the land. It's 37. Even though as much as we had a habit of improving Bosnia, but look at the development. 44. Don't you think it's enough? And should we just start focusing on developing Cairo at my brother's behest and creating a university there? And maybe I'll be known as the scholar, even though I only have good learning. But still, all that and more for the Bosnian series, which is just... I am basically outdoing my past series with those crazy ideas that is working like clockwork. But we shall see more. But until then, so long for now.